Hey everyone, how you doing? I hope everything is going good, everybody doing well. Just sitting here and I wanted to do a reaction, my take on the mother of eight. I don't know how many of you have seen this lady. She showed up on the algorithm, pushed her out there, and she said that her husband suddenly died. That's how it came across my news feed and a lot of other people's. And she said her husband suddenly died, but the video, he actually died in July, I guess. So anyways, people started calling in on this lady because her whole story seems suspicious. I mean, so her husband, he was on a lot of heavy pain meds, and I think he abused them. This lady, she married her husband when she was 19 years old, and he was like 40 or 50, and her parents got mad at her and her family. They disagreed with her marrying this guy, right? So she gets married to him and has 8 kids. All right. Well, sometimes, when you have that many kids and you're that old, you got to expect that you're not going to be around for them. I mean, come on. They got a couple very little ones, like 2-year-olds, 3-year-olds, and she has in the home. But she has 8 children. And I just want to do my take on, I'm sorry, guys. So anyways, she said that her husband passed out on the floor, and they took pictures of it. And so now people from YouTube been calling and saying she's lying, and just a whole mess of stuff. But anyways, I want to get into this because I want to know what you guys think. Did you hear this? Did you see this? And I also want to do my reaction, and I have a few things to say to this lady. Seriously, I hope she watches this or sees it, because this is serious stuff here. So, under fair use, I'm just going to do a reaction to your video, Mom of 8, and I want everybody to let me know what you think in the comments. But at no time, anywhere, should you ever harass anyone. These are just my opinions. I don't think you should harass or call anybody. Don't be calling anyone on this lady, because already tons and tons of people have done that. So they're fully aware of what's happening in her situation. CPS has been called. CPS has opened up a case in her, house. She's talked to the police. The police have interviewed her. We don't really know what's going on yet with that, but we'll see what happens as this unfolds. Days of our lives, as the world turns, we're going to see what happens. So this lady's from Canada with 8 children. And first of all, I'd like to say to the mom of 8, I have no idea how you think that you have time to be on YouTube. Because I had 4 children, and I didn't have time to be making no videos or doing any stuff like that. And it's obvious that you don't have time either, by the, mess going on in your life and the kids running amok. So let's just listen to this, and then we'll talk about it, okay? Listen to this.
It's been 39 hours since my husband suddenly passed away. I have 8 kids. My 2 eldest is 20 and 16, and we suddenly lost our dad. Yeah. Now, I did make a video already explaining what happened. You can go back and watch that video. Thank you for clicking on this video, because I think that doing this will help me. It's an emotional outlet. So YouTube has become my emotional outlet, and what I'm going through, which is the hardest thing I have ever had to go through in my life. But he prepared us. He was always looking after us. So, sorry about my voice. And I left the closet open just to, stop bumping that. I left the closet open just to get rid of some of the echo. But here's the thing, what we did today, it was our first day since he passed. I made a plan that I talked about in the previous video of things that had to be done right away. My husband was on ODSP. Stop bumping, okay? Sorry, the kids keep bumping the camera. My husband was on ODSP, and these two, they're too young to understand what's going on. They have no idea what I'm talking about. So we went to the bank account, and I took out as much I could before they started charging me to it. So we do have a bit of savings, but I'm going to be cut off of his ODSP at the end of the month. ODSP is disability. I'm in Canada, so in Ontario, disability, ODSP. It's like Ontario Disability Support Program, I think. So that card was linked to ODSP. It was money that they would give him every month. And
okay, I'm going to stop it right here. First of all, I wonder if you noticed that these kids and her, everybody needs a bath in the house. I'm not trying to be mean. I know you lost your husband, but I mean, you have grown kids too, teenage children, older children that could be helping you here. And, you know, your hair is just terrible, greasy, and so are the little girls. And I just wanted you to notice how unkempt, and her house is a wreck, and she even says that it is. And I also want to say that you're not supposed to take your husband or your spouse's money out of the bank. If they take that money back, and I believe that's against the law. She's saying she's trying to quickly get all the money out of the bank in his account. So I don't know about that, but I know that this whole dang family needs a bath, you guys, a shower.
I'm going to try and take that out before they cancel it, because it was money for him that he had let accumulate over the months. And so we had done groceries. Hang on, I got my list here. We did groceries. I got as much of our prescriptions that I could in advance while it was covered by his ODSP, because I have no income. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I just get what I get from the government for the children, and and we have a bit of savings. So I don't want to use up our bit of savings. We need that for emergencies.
I don't know, you guys, if this little girl's teeth are supposed to look like this, and she has other kids that their teeth look like this, but it just seems like it's the wrong age for her to be missing teeth. Like, I thought they were supposed to be like older when they lose their baby teeth, and it looks like their teeth are falling out. So sorry, I had to add that.
Got a call from the coroner, and he said that he had a very large pneumonia on the right side of his lungs. Empress, please be quiet. Now, here's...
Very cute little kids, though, aren't they? I mean, she's very cute.
The thing, I only got about 6 hours sleep. We went to bed at 3 in the afternoon, and we were all exhausted. We had to do a bunch of errands today, so I woke up, and I was really, really missing my husband. And I was thinking earlier this morning, I had some not so great thoughts about, now that I've lost the love of my life.
Yeah.
No.
Sorry about that. Got a commercial here. Hold on.
Now that I've lost the love of my life, what do I have to look forward to? I mean, I have our children, and our children are they're going to grow up. And, hang on, baby. And,
What do you mean? What do I have to look forward to? You got 8 dang kids. You got your work cut out for you. You got to raise all these children now alone. And I don't know what you were thinking. I mean, when you decided to, get pregnant all these times. And that's not trying to be mean or anything. I love children. But I mean, you got a big job ahead of you, lady. So...
what do you draw on the floor? But... hang on a second.
it really seems like...
So I'm back. The
Excuse
call
me.
from the coroner said he had a large pneumonia on the right side of his lung, which is probably because he was lying on the floor for a very long time. As I said in the last video, I couldn't wake him up. He was knocked out. He had taken his heavy pain relief pills, and I was waiting for him to sleep it off. So they're not sure what caused it still.
So she left him on the floor, kitchen floor.
They're doing some tests, and he said he'd call me back in a few weeks. It could be months with the results. This morning I was thinking some bad thoughts about my peak of my life is over.
Really?
The best part of my life is over. I'm 40 years old, and I was thinking that I just have to stay alive for another 40 years because my grandmother lived to be 82, and that just seems so long. It seems so long until we'll be back all together again in heaven. Yeah, I'm crying. Yes, I'm crying. I miss him so much. So,
You guys, this lady, her husband, passed out on the floor. I guess he took too many of his pills. So he allegedly, he passes out on the kitchen floor. So her and her older kids just look at him, and she said he was turned on his side so that the foam could come out his mouth. So they took a video and pictures of this in case somebody said something bad happened, and went down in her basement, she said, and she was doing something down there, and then came up, and he was fine when she went to bed, and she just left him there like that. So, of course, the cops want to ask her questions. And, when the cops and the ambulance comes to pick up somebody, they're going to see the conditions of the house, and they're going to see these kids. And we'll just continue there, but I'm just saying that it's really kind of crazy that she would just leave him on the floor. And so she's, you know, it's like she really neglected to call. You know, she should have did something before, I think. But she said he was breathing, so everyone's innocent until proven guilty. I don't know if she did anything at all on purpose. But it just seems like this lady has a lot of work cut out for her, and it doesn't seem like she's doing it because the house is a wreck, the kids are a wreck, and life's a wreck here, really. So, listen now.
I woke up missing him a lot, and
I feel bad for her that she lost her
husband. I
husband.
don't know what her life is going to be like now. There's an unknown, but I have this weight on my chest that's always there. I'm not getting much sleep. I'm not eating much.
Jeez, these stupid commercials.
Renewable energy. That's why dairy farmers do
I have no family or friends that
Hold on. I just want to move it up here.
20 years ago. So they were trying to interfere with my marrying him. So even after we were married, they didn't accept it. They were trying to break it up. So I just stopped talking to all of my family. And I don't have his family because I'm not really close to them. He didn't really talk much to them throughout the years. So that's why I thought YouTube would be a good outlet. And
Wrong, lady. This is the worst place.
we have each other, so I am very proud.
I'm sorry to tell you this, but it is the worst place.
So well, my 18-year-old boy, he's so responsible, and my 20-year-old, he's there for me to talk to. One of my biggest concerns is how they are going to manage with this this new drastic change. But anyhow, that's my daughter there, my 3-year-old. She doesn't know what's going on. It's really hard. We were a happy family. And here's the thing, this is why I had to get up out of bed, and I knew I wouldn't be able to get back to sleep. Because they don't know what exactly caused it, and then they sent him for an autopsy. And I said in the last video that the police were at our house and they were looking through things, you know, trying to find what I called the smoking gun.
Why would you even say that? The smoking
there's
gun.
There's a detective involved. And she asked me some questions, and
I mean, really?
the thing is that not now, Empress or Passion.
Yeah.
What really scared me is, what if she thinks that it's neglect? We all saw him there on the kitchen floor sleeping. You couldn't wake him up. He was knocked out. He was snoring, and his face was turned to the side, so the fluid that was coming out could drain. And
that sounds really
my
bad,
son
lady.
is 20 years old. My second oldest is 18 years old. They're adults too. So my concern was she going to charge me with neglect or manslaughter or something like that? We didn't understand what was going on with him on the floor. We had seen him, you know, knocked out before.
Well, why didn't you call 911?
He was snoring loudly like he does when he takes his heavy pills.
Why didn't your boys put him in the car and
He was
take
very
him
quiet, and that's when
to
I
the
called
hospital?
ambulance. And so is she gonna charge all three of us, since we're all legally adult? Is she gonna charge all three of us with manslaughter or neglect. I have a
We
few
don't
things
know.
in my favor, though. One is I was not legally his caretaker. You know, he managed his own pills. He managed his own doctor's appointments. I don't even have a driver's license.
I hate to tell you, lady, he's not his own personal caregiver. If you're married to him, the authorities look at it as you are his caretaker. And if you're in the home and something happens, it's your obligation to call 911 and to make sure that the person in your home is not in harm's way. And you said you don't even have a driver's license and you're this age and you got all these children. I think it's time that you learn how to drive, have your kids teach you somebody, and go get your dang driver's license and quit making up excuses why you can't do things. You got grown kids that should be helping you clean the house, and you should be getting a driver's license, and you should be doing stuff. And I'm sorry that your husband passed away, and that's very sad. And many people think that she's just trying to gain sympathy or money off of YouTube. That's why she's been reported to the police and to CPS. But you know, when you have a child in Canada, you get a pretty big stipend, a pretty big sum of money just for having the child, and you get help. And she was getting food stamps, money, assistance. So, and her husband, I take it, was getting disability. But you're not supposed to touch someone's disability. You could get in trouble for that. And she said she rushed out and bought a whole bunch of stuff. But if she wasn't supposed to, they can come back and charge you with a lot of interest with the IRS. So I hope she knows that and realizes that. But you need to go get a driver's license, lady. And you need to, because you got all these kids that you got to take care of now by yourself. So your husband's not there to cart you around. It's not really your boys' responsibility either, and that's just my opinion.
My 18-year-old has a driver's license, a full driver's license, so fortunately he can take us to get the groceries and such.
You can. Nothing wrong with you. And your hair is so bad.
My favor is
Look at this.
the testimonies. If she talks to my son and our family, we had a good family.
Look at that.
And now it's broken up. And I tried to tell myself, I'm sorry about all the ands, but I'm so nervous. I called, well, I found the phone number for, in Ontario, it's pro bono, where you can get free legal advice. Sorry, that's free legal advice for people that don't have a lot of money, because I think I need it.
Yeah, I think you're going to need a lawyer too.
The detective,
But I don't know if they're going to do pro bono.
She thinks that,
Good luck with that one.
We neglected him, which we did not. But I know the house is dirty. I know the house is messy. My husband has not been able to do much for a long time. And like I said,
he
we don't
can
have
too.
friends or family members to come and babysit so we can clean up the house. It's just us.
Okay, just listen now. I was talking. I want you to hear this again.
A long time. And like I said, we don't have friends or family members to come and babysit so we can clean up the house.
Who has babysitters that come over and help you so you can clean the house, lady? Never in my life have I raised 4 children, and you're not going to tell me you got grown teenage kids that could be cleaning up with you, and you need to clean up. And you don't need a babysitter to do it, and you need to teach your kids not to be making messes and being wild. And you guys, there's one video where, if you go to her channel, it's called Mom of 8 Kids, and she's got her husband there with his mouth wide open, passed out on his drugs, and it looks like she put her kids there on his lap, and they're climbing on him, and he's snoring up a storm with his mouth wide open on camera. Lord have mercy. It looks ridiculous. And then she also she did some strange videos where she took videos of her husband's nasty feet and was digging in them. Oh, it was disgusting. But anyways, this lady, I'm sorry. I don't know why you think you need to share this kind of information. It's gross. And I just told all my subscribers, all my viewers, I just talked to you guys about this, that you got to be careful putting all your personal life out here on the YouTube. You know what I mean? Like, look at Cam and Allie. I don't support them, but I'm not ignorant either. And I'm not going to sit there and trash them nonstop for, they got into their drugs. And now they're in trouble with CPS and with the courts and the police. That's their problem. It's not mine. But, they put their information out there and then wonder why people, run with it. So, lady, if you put your information out there, people are going to, run with the information. So just let's listen
it's
more.
just us. And now it's really just us. So for a long time, he was not able to do, to help out because of his back around the house. He is 70 years old.
Well, yeah, you married a 70-year-old.
You're so sweet.
40-year-old.
She's hugging my arm. My 3-year-old. So, I also think that because he was on some heavy pain relief, accidents can happen. I don't know if he maybe forgot, because some of the side effects is forgetfulness. Did he forget that he took his pills and take another batch by accident? Long time ago, like 30 years ago, he did have a history of attempted suicide.
Oh, now you're going to come up with this, eh? Oh, okay. Maybe
is the detective going to think that maybe this was some kind of attempted suicide?
Wow, lady. That's very suspicious. Red flag, red flag.
3: accident, neglect, or attempted suicide. Personally, I don't think it was attempted suicide because he wanted to live a long time so that he could see our baby get older.
How's he gonna live a long time when he's 70 years old, lady? And you had a baby anyways.
The younger kids, because I spoke about
She
it
didn't
with
tell
my
all her kids
18-year-old
that her
and
husband died. Their dad died.
My 20-year-old, he doesn't have much of an opinion, but my 18-year-old said, let them get adjusted to this new lifestyle a bit first. And his idea was not to tell them at all. I don't think that he doesn't.
Well, the
think that
babies
they
ain't
would
even gonna
resent
know.
that.
They have no clue.
And gives them a chance.
They're gonna
to
miss
get
him, though.
A little adjusted before. Now, my 16-year-old, I told him just tonight as much as I could without telling him all.
Why? He's 16.
And I didn't lie. Everything I said was true. So what he knows is that he's in the next city at the hospital, which he is. They told me to contact a funeral home and make arrangements to have him picked up. I hate to make that call. We're trying to figure out what to do with him because he didn't want to be buried. He didn't want to be cremated. He wanted his own mausoleum, which he can't do. So, practicality, and he wanted his whole body to be intact, which the coroner assured me that the samples they take are very small, thin slices. So, he's basically intact, so that's good. At least he got that, but I'm thinking practicality, we might have to just get him cremated, and my son, my 18-year-old, is like, well, can't we just like tell them for religion reasons? Because my husband did kind of have he was Christian, but he didn't follow a church. He had his own, he followed his own Christianity. And so I told my son, Julius, who was 20, that I don't think we can just like keep him in a box in the house, a coffin in the house, because it's a lot, and I think it's against the law too to have.
Yes, it is against the law. You can't keep his body in the house, and they're not going to release it to you unless you have some kind of burial plans where you're going to put it. So, and if it's under investigation now because of the police, you might not get the body back for a long time.
You know, yeah. The other thing I have going for me in terms of evidence.
Evidence?
Tell the police or the detective about, because I didn't want them to take it the wrong way, is I do have a short video and some pictures that I took of him while he was lying on the floor. And the reason was because I wanted to show him when he woke up what kind of condition he's in. I wanted to show him what these pills do to him, so he's got to try and stay as far from them as possible. So that can show that, well, we were aware that he was there on the floor, and we just didn't know what was going on. We had been desensitized to this kind of knocking out. So here's my plan for day 2.
So, you guys, she says, I got this evidence, though I did not show it to the police yet. I got this evidence of this video and photos because I was going to show him. Bull crap, you weren't going to show him that. Something happened. And this is very suspicious, and red flags all over this lady. No wonder there's an investigator who wants to look into this a little bit further, because I would too, because that's really, really weird that you would say that. So
day 2 is I go back to the bank, I take out the rest of the money.
See, she's trying to take all the money out.
RBC account. I have to call the disability worker and tell her about it, and
well, yeah,
she can point me in the right direction now. I got it.
Well, if you're saying that he died in July, and you're putting this video out now in September, you mean to tell me you didn't report his death this long? You can get in really bad trouble for that.
Call pro bono, 9 a.m. to get a lawyer's advice. Hopefully she can tell me.
Hopefully you did, and you got some advice.
Hopefully she'll put me at ease that it's not likely that I would be charged. And we gotta do a bit more groceries. I'm going to check for prescription coverage now for women in my situation that are now single. See, because the pharmacist told me that there might be some kind of coverage now. First,
this kind of sounds like a setup. I'm not trying to be rude. It's probably not, but it sounds like a precursor to, oh, I need help with my pills. I'm a single woman now. I'm a widow. I need money getting my scripts. I need this. I need that. Yeah. So that's what it seems like.
Single moms.
Sympathy.
And I have to notify the car insurance that my son's now driving my 18-year-old.
Good luck affording that.
$1,000, a little over $1,000, because we had a pretty new car for a year. Car insurance. Because
It cracks me up that these people are on disability and they're getting food stamps and they're getting help from the state and they're not taking care of their kids or their home, but they got a pretty new car and the insurance is high on it, but they can't afford other things. That really, really irritates me. I'm sorry.
Now my son is going to be driving. That car insurance is going to be going up. So that's why
Get a
he's
driver's
really like to
license and get it in
eliminate
your
a lot
own
of
name.
our unnecessary bills and streamline everything and get it down.
Get a job,
Because,
lady.
My husband would pay it once a year to save money. And we'll have to pay that. I don't know how much it might go up to $2,000. I don't know, but and so
This is the real world.
that's it for now. That's where things are at. If you stayed with me this long, sorry about all the ands. I'm sorry if you couldn't hear me too well. I think that this expression is important to help me.
Seems like she's having a hard time getting the tears out is all I'm saying. I mean, there is tears coming out, but I mean,
Someone's trying to come
it's
in.
weird.
One of the kids. I thank you.
Sorry, that seems really fake.
I thank you for listening. I thank you for watching. I thank you for any support.
She's got some tears, but
And I need people to comment because everybody has gone through some kind of event where they've lost a family member or a friend,
okay.
and or they know.
So, you guys, their house pretty much is a disaster, and she knows it's a disaster, and the kids. But here it is: police station questioned me, sudden death of my husband. Viewers calling the police again on my husband's sudden death, and about my videos, mom of 8 kids, child protection is coming. We'll just see what this one's like a little bit.
5 days since my husband passed away. I kind of have the shakes a little here. It's 3:25 in the morning.
What are you doing up when you have all
got
these
up at
kids?
2 a.m. and it's been 3 days since my last video. And the reason why I am putting this out there is because I think it'll help me a lot with trying to get through this very difficult time.
It's time.
It's the most difficult time I've ever had to face
With
in my
kids.
life. I have 8 children with my husband. Our eldest is 20 years old. Our youngest is 17 months. And my husband, who was 70, passed away suddenly. And there's no will. And I don't have any family members to go to.
Sounds like she's trying to get
Like I
solicit
said
money.
in one of my previous videos, there isn't anybody. I don't have any friends. I don't have any family members or his family members to go to. It's just us.
Except for the caring people on
So
YouTube.
the update here is
See?
I've been really, really busy. Like really busy because when I found out that where I live in Canada, it's called FACS, and in the US, it's called CPS, Child Protective Services. In Canada, it's Families and Children's Services, and in a situation like this, they're automatically called. So, I haven't told my children yet that my husband's dead, their father is dead, and that's...
That is not true. I just want to debunk that. And to say to you, lady, mom of 8 kids, They don't call protective services when your husband dies, okay, or your wife dies. They don't do that. They called protective services when they came in the house with the EMS, emergency service workers, ambulance drivers, police, and they seen the mess, and they seen the kids. So.
Because I'm trying to give them time to ease into this new situation, this new lifestyle. As far as they think right now, they think he's still in the hospital. And they remember when I was in the
Not
hospital
telling
with
her
the
kids.
baby. I was in the hospital for 5 days with the baby. So to them right now, they think this is normal, that daddy's in the hospital, and they think he's getting looked after.
Let's just go back just for a sec, because I want to show you this picture here. Okay, here comes her kids again.
It's been, our eldest is 20 years old, our youngest is 17 months.
There's no reason that them kids can't help around the house and be doing stuff in the house for you. So
I guess because he slept a lot and I had to manage a lot on my own these couple last years, I'm thinking that's why the kids are okay right now, So far they haven't been asking me a lot, where's daddy? Which is good. I think they just think he's going to come home.
Which is weird.
Done, just as I came home when
I can see not telling
baby and I were in the
babies.
hospital, and there was no visiting at that time because it was over a year ago I was in the hospital, right? It was, it was during 2022, so I don't think there was any visiting allowed back then. So they expect the same now. I think that's why they know that we aren't going to visit, because they couldn't when I had the baby in the hospital. That wasn't allowed back then. So,
Well, you're in some kind of fantasy
there.
there.
I hadn't told them yet. It's because I consulted my eldest son. My husband and I, we had 8 children in our 20-year long
Who's
marriage.
the parent
This
here?
was a time I'd always been dreading. For
Why do you
almost
gotta
20
consult
years.
him?
And so far things are functioning okay. So my son and my 2 eldest sons, 18 and 20.
Told her not to tell, but I want to see where it is about CPS here.
Going to the bank, stuff like that. And they came to the door and they said, sorry for your loss. And
CPS.
someone's trying to come in. And my Adonis, my 15-year-old, he didn't know what they were talking about. But there were some papers left in the mailbox, and I thought that these papers were from the street, I thought the whole...
You guys, right now, her kids are trying to get into the room. She needs to get off of the YouTube and pay attention to her children. They're little. They need her attention and her care, and they need baths, okay? And you need to clean up the house.
Street got these papers because there was a picture of children smiling on it, and it said music or something on it. So I thought, I don't need to read this right now. I'm just going to put it on the table, in the kitchen table. I thought it was from like the local club or something. We have like a club around here. And so I left it on the table. And later on, Adonis looked at it and he saw that there was a support group for grieving children. And what it was is they gave an example that my pet passed away, This is our second youngest, Empress. She's 3.
Do they
On
not get their
second,
teeth,
she'll
or
be
do they
4.
lose them at that
And
age? I don't know. It's
I
weird.
don't know if it's going to be a happy birthday. I hope so.
She needs her hair
She
washed,
wants a
too.
rainbow dash cake. That's what she's saying, rainbow dash cake. She just had some chicken nuggets to eat here. So I had to tell him, and I told him, I said, Adonis, I didn't want you to find out this way. And I called his older brother, his 18-year-old brother, his 20.
Okay, we gotta get past this.
That's a little paper. So anyhow, he was okay. He didn't cry, but he did get teary-eyed.
Hold on.
It was a real lockdown, and he was afraid. Like back then, he was in grade 3. This is what caused the panic attacks and the anxiety and all of that stuff. He thought it was a real lockdown, and he thought that they would be crashing through the windows and killing everybody. So that was traumatic for him. He was in grade 3, and it took him years to get.
Oh, I don't know what she's talking about.
Except for the fact that my Julius, my 18-year-old, is the one driving. I don't have a driver's license.
Okay, hold on.
The police hadn't told him how messy the house is. This is a routine because they did come back, and my son answered the door, Julius, and told them that right now is not a good time. So they made an appointment to come back Monday at 3:30 in the afternoon. So before that appointment was made, we were frantically cleaning up the house as best as we could.
Wow.
So that, we don't get in trouble.
That's sad,
And it
lady.
needed to be cleaned up anyway. So that's why I wasn't in a rush the first 2 days, because I knew I was going to be cleaning the house anyway.
Sure.
But then on the third day, when I found out that, or maybe it was Tuesday when I called the lawyer, that they're going to be coming in no matter what, and I'm not going to leave it to the point where they have to get a court order, because that looks really, really bad. It looks like you have something to hide.
Yeah.
Emperors don't.
Sure does.
And so we are all frantically cleaning the house, and we're still cleaning the house. We want to make it look really good. And also
Sure.
the busyness really helps too. It helps.
I don't even know if
me
she's got
cope. If I had
clothes
nothing
on,
to
this
do, I
lady.
think I would go crazy, So the busyness helps, and it's nice getting the house cleaned up.
I bet.
Today, now, yesterday, I spent a lot of time contacting the funeral home, asking questions, all of those things. The day before that, Thursday, I contacted Ontario Works to pay for the burial and stuff like that. My husband, I told you, didn't want to be buried. He didn't want to be cremated. He wanted to be in a muzzle.
Okay.
We might be able to manage somehow, to do this.
Anyways, you guys, I don't know what you think about that. I mean, if she truly did, what the people caught her, they said that she said that her husband just recently died, and it showed her a picture of her crying her eyes out, and so the algorithm pushed it out there. YouTube pushed it out there. And so that's what got my attention, and I felt bad for her. And I do feel bad for her if that really was the case. I don't know the whole situation. Everyone's, innocent until proven guilty, but I think it's really weird that she wants to come on YouTube and talk about, well, his head was to the side, so in case any foam came out, she left him there all night because this is just something that he normally does. You guys, who leaves their husband on the kitchen floor to sleep there all night on the there's no way, you guys. So anyways, and I'm sorry, you got older kids. She has no excuse for a lot of this stuff. But I do feel bad for her. But to me, this is just another manipulation of people trying to get money. And you guys, she's already had, one of them had 54,000 views Another one had 97,000 views. They're all really up there in the views. And because it's really weird that she would want to just do a video like this. But anyways, you guys, I was just shocked by it, aggravated. I feel bad because I think she needs to get off YouTube and pay attention to her children and clean them up and take care of them, because this is a little crazy. So, and clean the house. I don't know how people can just nonstop be on YouTube. Like, Jody Sue Brown, you're always on YouTube. When do you have time to clean the house? And you know, Don and Candace, they just been living their life, right? Doing their own thing. Supposedly this court date is only about child support with the kids coming up Thursday, tomorrow. But we'll see. I don't know. I was really hoping that it's about the custody of their children and the placement of them. But they're just always playing games. Robin Lane playing games. She put out a video trying to act all spiritual about it, putting these little alphabet words that spelled out some of her names as clues, and just a bunch of weirdness. And Tim Mullen too, they're weird. And so is Don and Candace. And I'm getting really ticked off because I don't know where Summer is, but somebody did something bad to her. There's no proof of life from her. And we need some answers in this case. I'm sick of it. I'm tired of it. And I want to see answers. I am, however, very happy to hear that somebody's going to be charged in the Michael Vaughn case. We don't know who it is. They're not going to tell us who it is until they go and arrest them. I'm very interested in knowing that. Also, Candace has come up with another story that she took a nap and Grandis took a nap and all this bull crap, you guys. Changing their stories. The cops just need to come and arrest Candace and Don. But, you know, I don't know if we'll get any justice or any kind of movement in Hawkins County. Not with the sheriff and the judge there, with them letting Brandon Lawson go on these kind of charges. That is very sad. The sheriff's own son committed SA against a child, and I believe he had a bunch of porno child videos and on his phone or something, computer, and he was passing them along and watching them. And I cannot believe that the judge suspended his 19-year sentence and he's free. He's free. You guys, there needs to be strong laws put in place that if you do certain kind of abuse to a child, SA for sure, or any kind of violent child abuse, you do not get to get out of jail. Or you need to serve a really severe sentence and then be put on severe watch where you're tracked and put in a home, like a state place where you can learn to see how you are in the community. But this is sickening. It is sickening. We got judges who don't want to prosecute. Who knows who paid him off? I don't know if anybody did, but I'm just saying it's pretty pathetic when you got judges who will just let these predators out of prison, out of these sentences, give them light sentences. It's terrible. Look at Harmony Montgomery, her parents. Those kids were taken away. She was taken away from them parents and given to good parents. And then they give them back, and she's living in a car and getting beat about getting punched in the head. And she died. I mean, come on. And I'm not trying to be mean to Cam and Allie at cracking cases, but what are you thinking, you guys? Having drugs around your kids and having them living in the car? That's crazy. And blaming your mother for all your problems. Cam and Allie need to grow up. But you know what? I'm sorry, but people like Cher and others who are just trashing Cam and Allie just to do it, it's ignorant, okay? It's none of my... I'm not going to go into deep detail and tell everybody about their whole entire life, but it's not good, and I feel bad for the children in this situation. And now I heard somebody say, well, Allie's not really a user. Oh, yes, she is. I seen a video where she cut a line. She cut a line out on the table or a tray for Cam, and you can tell that's what she was doing. And then she bent down and did it. And then she nudged Cam like with the elbow. He looked down at it like, oh yeah. And then he went down, he went off, and I put offline for a minute and put it on pause so you could just see the screen, not him, not, their background. And then he came back on acting weird. I've seen him pass out on live TV. Allie, there's no way that he is actively addicted. He is using. There's no way that she's not doing it with him. And funny thing is, they met in rehab. Maybe they'll end up in rehab for their 10-year wedding anniversary or something, right? Because they're going to get in trouble for this. And it did bother me that they put a lot of disinfo out about Summerwell's case. And also, things that weren't even true, and they were supporting the Wells. And chasing Tracy at Chasing True Crime. She supports the Wells. She supports people that have kids that it's not good. It's like she supports the perpetrators and not the victims. And she sticks up for them. You got Daisy sticking up for them. And all these people, it's weird. Tim Mullins, Robin Lane. Robin Lane, why didn't you do something for Summer Wells and those boys a long time ago? Why didn't you call Protective Services and get them kids out of that house? You had a responsibility and you had a reporting obligation because you were supervising children in your church. So yeah, you had a responsibility, Robin Lane, to report how Summer was coming to church and wandering around and filthy dirty and a bald head and bruises. Nobody's going to tell me any different, but why didn't you protect them? And why would you not want to protect the kids and the boys? And why would you want to subject those boys back into that home with the Wells family? These are my opinions only, and everyone's innocent until proven guilty. But we already have heard from numerous witnesses who said that they did call CPS on the family because there was child abuse, there was drug use. Even Summer OD'd on your drugs, Candace. So, you and Donnie's drugs that you left out. You lost children because you were on drugs. And you and Donnie both now have lost these kids. And I pray to God that you never get them kids back, but I don't believe that you will. Because as long as Summer Wells is missing, and this case is still an open active investigation, they're never going to give them back to you. Because they may be witnesses in this case. They may have seen what you did, and I wouldn't doubt it, that they probably are witnesses. And we'll probably hear their testimony in court one day. And I really pray for the best for those boys. You know, my heart goes out to them. It hurts me. And it's sad that Don and Candace had to do this. It's their fault that them boys are in foster care and protective services, Tim and Robin. It's their fault. Don and Candace's own fault for doing bad things and for not caring about their house and not cleaning it up and for showering with their daughter and for letting drug addicts and registered SOs in the house and around the children. It's really sickening, and leaving them unsupervised, and we know that they did because Candace was gone all day, supposedly with Summer, with her mother, and those boys were left alone. So I don't care what anyone says, but I am getting mad. And those people that are complaining or calling the sheriff's department for bull crap, why don't you call and talk to the sheriff in the sheriff's office and say, what is going on with Brandon Lawson? Why is it this way? Why did the judge do this? We want answers. We want to know. And is Summer going to get any justice? Somebody needs to ask the sheriff that. You need to call the news outlet. You need to call the governor of Tennessee and ask him why there's no movement in the Summer Wells case. And how can we get justice if his own son, the sheriff's own son, can get away with crimes against kids? So, anyways, you guys, that's all I had to say. I wanted you to hear about the mom of 8 in case you didn't. And I just can't believe that these kind of things are going on and that people think it's okay to put that all on YouTube and to film their families and their children this way, just like Don and Candace. They took all kinds of nasty pictures of the kids. Like, geez, I never took pictures of my kids filthy, dirty. At least clean them up, you know. Come on, brush their hair, if they even are lucky to have hair. What a shame. Something happened to Summer. They did something evil. We want to know. We want answers, and I want people to start crying out a little bit louder because this is really upsetting. So, don't stay quiet, you guys. Keep talking about this. All right. Well, that's all. I've gone long enough. God bless you guys. I love you. I thank you. I'm gonna, I got another child I want to talk about here in a couple days. I'm going to do another video. So keep your eyes open. And you guys have a good rest of the week, okay? All right. Good night. Bye.